Good evening. I'm so excited to have Ellie and Tanya with me tonight. I want to get right into it and tell you all of the super cool stuff that they do. So I'm going to start with Ellie and tell you how I met Ellie. I met you at a networking event. You caught my eye because you had a perfectly contoured face and like glitter, and I was like, you with the perfectly contoured face. I need to know what you're doing. And you said, I have 800 doors. I do investing of some sort. I don't know if you expand on. I have 800 doors. And I was like, shut up. You're a baby child. There's no way you have 800 doors. And you said, no, I'm not. I'm grown up. And I said, you're like 32. And you said, oh, I'm about to be 32. I was like, right, baby child, baby
Yeah.
child. I'm 50. You're a baby child. How do you have 800 doors? So let's
Mhm.
start there. And then we'll get to you, Tanya. How
Yeah,
do you
no,
have
cool.
800 doors?
Yeah. So 3 years ago, I was 29, broke, divorced, and depressed. And I was like knocking on these like $4 million homes doing door-to-door sales and asking people how much they spend on internet. And I was like, what are people doing to
Uh-huh.
afford $4 million homes? I'm in the wrong area. Like this is not okay. So I really realized at 29 that I've always wanted to create passive income and create a financial literacy, legacy and all that. So I'm like, well, how can I do this? So I'm like, real estate. I've always wanted to get into real estate, but I didn't know how. And so I invested in myself and I invested in my education and got into an education platform. And so did Tanya. That's how we met each other.
Yeah,
We both invested into
absolutely.
our future. And when that happened, all the doors opened and am I allowed to swear?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay,
I
great.
think we need to be authentic and real.
Don't be
Okay,
ourselves.
okay, great. I have a sailor's mouth. So I just ended up going and just literally changing my life. Like I took out all my distractions and it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. And so I just really put myself out there, networked, and your network is your net worth. And I was able to get on my deal within first 90 days of joining this mentorship company. And then it was 382 units in Jacksonville, Florida. And
That's
that's
where my rentals are in Jacksonville, Florida.
exactly, that's what I
Mhm.
was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's when like, the what's that saying where the first deal is always the hardest, right? But then after
Uh-huh,
that,
uh-huh.
the floodgates open. So I was able to obtain other deals and then and since then for the last 3 years together we've raised over $7 million using OPM, other people's money,
Mhm.
teaching people financial literacy and how to get on deals. And so literally I don't have to deal source, people bring me deals. So we have, yeah, 4 properties in North Carolina, 203 units in Iowa, and then Florida. And so looking to go into Georgia, which I know, Jessica, we're trying to get in there too, right?
Absolutely. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
uh,
happening. It is happening.
yeah,
Happening already. I'm
yeah.
just on the phone actually with one of my partners in Georgia, and they're so excited for us to come down there and look at some properties. So
Oh, I'm excited
yeah,
too.
we're
Yeah.
gonna be flying out there real soon.
I'm excited too. Yeah.
Exactly. So literally, I learned very quickly that there's deal flow every single day, but what do you need to be able to close a deal? And that's with single family, multifamily, anything, and that's capital. So I knew that financial literacy was what I needed to learn, and so I just absorbed everything in a sponge, and then taught other people how to do it, and then raise capital. So now I just closed my very first deal as a sponsor, of
Tell us
34.
what that means.
Yeah, so sponsor basically means the guarantor, the person that signs off the loan. You
Uh-huh.
have the net worth, liquidity, and schedule real estate to be able to do so. So I was able to sign off on a $3 million property. So it was really exciting.
That is amazing. Can
Yeah.
you also speak to the syndication portion? Because we talked about this last time. There's a bunch of scams out there. And one of the things I was talking to somebody else about today in regard to you, I talk about you all the time, by the way, was the syndication. And how you were telling me how much it costs to have a neutral third party and an attorney run all the numbers to be certain that this syndication is really what it says it is before you bring in investors. So I realize there's risk in everything, but when we talk about like people getting scammed, I want to talk about how you know it's the real deal. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we believe in compliance all day, every day. So we are extremely compliant. We are not going to just bring in some shitty ass deal and be like, invest, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we have what's called our buy box, and our buy box is very specific qualifications, yeah, and requirements needed to be able to purchase a property. So for instance, it takes us up to 2 to 3 months for us to really say yes to a deal.
Mhm.
But we underwrite together as a team, what, like 100 deals like a month.
Mhm.
And the reason why that we say no to so many of them is because if it doesn't match our buy box, meaning that if it doesn't match what our investors are looking for and making sure that they're getting the best return,
Mhm.
we're gonna say no. And so it's really truly believing and finding that unicorn deal, that needle in a haystack. And last year we were able to close a deal every single quarter because we were able to find that needle in the haystack because of our buy box. So when an investor invests with us, they know that it's legit because we've underwritten it like 15 fucking times.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We have two, not just one, two SEC attorneys backing us up. They have to agree to it. We even have to, if a lender goes in and underwrites a deal and it doesn't, if they don't agree with the deal or it doesn't match what their requirements are, then they're not going to say yes to it either. So it's not just us as a team having to say, hey,
Mhm.
this is a great deal. Multiple people and different factors have to say, this deal works for us and we're going to make it happen. So you're investing into a property that has been marked for approval by
Uh-huh.
multiple compliance people. So
Mhm.
that's exactly how we make sure to increase that confidence and
Mm.
lower the risk.
Yeah.
I love that. So tell us all about you, Tanya. I met you at the same event. I met
No,
you
that's fine.
with another
Yeah.
gal, and we had some conversations about, oh, I mean, you were really focused on like, what do you do? How could you bring us a deal? And I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go bring you a deal. And then, Ellie walks in, and I realized, oh, you guys are together. You're doing way bigger. You don't need me for anything. Like, you're doing way
Yeah.
bigger stuff.
No,
So
it's your experience, your prior experience, and it's your energy and what you have
I
to offer
appreciate
too.
that.
I
I
just
appreciate
love powerful women and you caught my eye as being powerful in the real estate game. So,
Same. Like
yeah,
attracts like. So I think when you get around like
absolutely.
good, and I'm really an energy person. I pick up other people's energy, and I want to
Yeah.
work with people that have the same enthusiasm, the same love for people, the same like I'm a big like believer, and everybody comes up. It's not I come up and like, oh, you go away. Like we all come up together. And I think when you're part of that, like biblically speaking, it comes back tenfold. If you
Absolutely.
are living in that abundant mindset and you're out to help everybody and you're finding your purpose, it comes back around. Like we all agree with that universally. So I want to be around other women, especially. I'm not a man hater. Don't get me wrong. I love working with men too, but I
Yeah.
love it when I find other women that are doing big things. Like that is my favorite to tie in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's not enough women in the space.
Right,
So
absolutely.
Totally,
And
totally.
and if I meet a woman that is really trying to find themselves. Actually, I just got a call from one of my friends now, and she's like, Tanya, it's our mindset. It's what we really want in life, and it's changing. I
Uh-huh.
grew up in poverty. I grew up in the in the ghetto and all that, and I'm teaching my family that is not the end. You can absolutely get yourself out of that. You know what I mean? And financial literacy and just educating yourself. I invested too,
Mhm.
like she said. I met her being a strategist and she just blew my mind with all her knowledge. And like you said, she was a baby. And I was like, oh my God, you're the same age as my daughter. And you have this, she's so powerful. So we just latched onto each other and became business partners. And so multifamily investor, entrepreneur, we're doing this online cleaning service. And I
Oh
just
yeah, I want to get to that too. Yeah.
yeah. I just want to teach people financial literacy, and you can just multiple streams of income, passive income.
So this is again like I was at a black church for a long time, and I freaking love the pastor there. I love him. And this is the first time I heard it because I was invited by a family member, and he really spoke. What she was mad about it. He called it prosperity. He preached prosperity. She goes, I don't know if they should be doing that. And I'm like, what? He really preaches prosperity, and he also preaches 7 streams of income. You need 7
Absolutely.
streams of income. I'm going to find the
average
scripture
11.
because I am telling you, Dr. Godot knows where it's at. This guy is preaching that, and there's not enough of that. There's this poverty
Yeah,
mindset, at least the way I grew up in religion, not a spiritual relationship with
right.
the creator,
We
this
talked about
rules
that.
and regulations, whatever nonsense. You're taught like, oh, you don't need money. You just need the Lord. Like that's not realistic. I can't go bless other people without money. So I appreciate having this prosperity mindset, this abundant mindset, and
Yeah,
knowing that biblically you need 7 streams of income. So I love what you're saying, Tanya, about teaching your family about financial literacy because it's a
absolutely.
generational curse. Poverty is a generational curse, just like
Yeah,
alcoholism, and we don't give it the credence it deserves. And we're
right.
out here just perpetuating that. Well, not us, but other people
Yeah,
perpetuating it, like acting like they're doing something noble living in poverty, when really, if you're living in this abundant mindset, you're able to bless all these people around you and everyone comes up. Like, can we get on
yeah,
the same page? Who wants to join that? Everyone,
yeah, right.
everyone wants to join that.
I mean, I do. I do want to be the first millionaire in my family, but what I want to do the most is just live comfortable. And we all eat and we all live comfortable and show them that we can own homes, we can own apartment complexes, and we're going to, so yeah, totally. We're totally on
I
the same page.
preach
Yeah.
the 7 streams of income. Like I've been on multiple podcasts and I've speaking at a lot of conferences, and that's literally how I start every single conference or call, whatever, is the average multimillionaire makes 7 streams of income. 7. So how do we do that? How do we obtain 7 streams? Because us working a W-2, a 9 to 5, living for the weekends, living like,
Right.
that's not a passive income at all. That's living
No.
off a paycheck. And
That's a job. That's a job. That's the 4 quadrants, right? We all read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was part of my kids' chore list. No joke. They were paid to read
that.
paid to read it. You have to read the book. You have to understand where we're coming from. And that's the 4 quadrants. So, if people get confused, they're like, oh, I have my own business. I'm a hairdresser. So I'm in this quadrant. No, you're not. You break your leg, you're out of business, girlfriend. That's not a business. That's a job. That's a job.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm very cognizant of, I would love to have all passive income. Rentals are not, my rentals are not completely passive. It sounds like the apartments I can't wait to get into for that reason. But I want to switch gears with the 7 streams of income and tell us about the cleaning company and anything else you're doing that other people could jump into to build additional streams of income. So the minimum buy-in on the apartments right now is 50K, right?
So that's if you want to be a limited partner. So if you just want to make your money work for you, you don't want to be an active partner. You just want your money work for you while you do other things. It is $50,000. And that's where you guys need to reach out to us so we can teach you how to do it. Because
Okay, give everyone your phone number like multiple times.
yes, okay. My number 984-789-7586.
Once again.
Oh, 984-789-7586. And yours.
Yep. And mine, 916-495-0001. Again, 916-495-0001. Call us anytime.
You guys answer we're on group messages all the time. Like, I love you guys, but I get messages all the time. Just Tuesday, like, what's up, beautiful? Like, did you sell your house yet? What's going on? Did you talk to your girlfriend about this or that? What are we doing this week? How can we network?
Checking in.
Even if you don't have the 50K, even if you just want to be around an amazing kick-ass group of women, text, call. We're at networking all the time. All the time.
7 days a week.
Events, chamber events, how to build wealth events, how to buy property events. Jump into the community and be part of it, even if you don't have the cash. But if you don't have that kind of money and you want to build some income, what are some other things that they could get in with that you're already doing that you could speak on to build that stream of income?
Yeah, and I just really quickly, just to touch base on the people that might not think that they have the 50,000. There are ways that you might not realize that you do actually have it. Okay.
Oh, I actually have one of those. I've got one of those. She's going to come on the podcast too. But it's mortgage-free life where you can borrow the equity against your property with that. It's not a HELOC. It's not a HE loan. You can access everything with a first position mortgage that allows you to access all of your equity, and you can pay your mortgage off typically in 5 years rather than 25 years. So that's one of the programs that you could use if you have equity in your property to be able to use it to buy a rental.
100%. And I always tell people to like never be afraid of the dollar amount. So like if someone says, I want to invest, but I don't have 50,000, don't even think about the price tag. Figure out how you can come up with that.
That's right.
Because there's so many ways that you don't even realize that you sign up for things when you join a W-2, like a 401, a Roth, maybe insurance stocks. Like people don't realize that you can take money out of your life insurance. Like there's so many things you can do. So that's why we like to teach that financial literacy part so that they know that they have more than just one option. So
I love that. Yeah, we've got we need to have like 5 more segments to get into all of the things because there's so many detailed ways that one could be using programs that the average person is not aware of because we're not talking about it.
Right, exactly. I love it. But if you are looking to make some extra passive income, so I've been looking, I know we both have been looking for something to generate cash because I will say that real estate is amazing. It can be very passive, but it's also a longevity game. Right. And so it takes time for you to really like accumulate this nest. So when you're building a nest and building your empire, what's a way for you to really create those 7 streams of income? And a lot of people don't even know what passive means. And I always say, really, it's hands off. Okay. Not even like, obviously people say make money while you sleep, whatever. No, it's hands off, like where you literally aren't doing anything while you're seeing money roll in. And that is truly, to me, the definition of passive income.
It is. And most single family, I'm here to tell you, single family properties Not passive, okay? Not passive. There was when I took over and managed all my and I currently self-manage all my properties. I don't have a ton of respect for property managers. Sorry if I'm offending people, but I still got the problems. I just paid extra for you to take the call. That's it. When I took over, I had all my people in Jacksonville paying on the 10th. I literally spent the 11th praying with people. That was it. Like, oh, I don't have rent, and then my mom, and then my it was
Oh,
like it was a joke. So it's anything but passive because you're taking a lot of the problems, you're taking their problems, whatever those are that delay them in paying their rent. You're taking on a lot of stress in a single family.
absolutely.
And that's what I love about this idea you have with the syndication. Like there's still problems. Someone else is managing the problems and I don't know about them. A toilet's backing up for sure. So 7A probably didn't have rent. I don't know about that. I don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
Yeah,
It's part of the
right.
conglomerate and I'm still getting a return.
100%. Yeah, that's the best part about syndication is that you are not the landlord. You are the owner and you
Uh-huh.
are the asset manager, and you have property management GC contractors coming out and doing everything for you. And literally on all of our properties, we meet our property managers once a week, and like that's it, you know? So like that's the best part, especially if you're a passive investor and you just want to make money on the side.
And
Um,
who doesn't? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Who
Yeah.
doesn't want that? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, and then it comes to how can we, I think the average, I actually did the research on this. The average American or household income is, I think, 70 or 80,000, which really breaks down to about $22 an hour per person. That's what people bring in America on average, which is
Well, that's
actually,
facts. We just went over this with Ian and I, and the national average right now is 75,000, which in Kentucky you could live. California, no, thank you. Like you
yeah,
No,
can't.
absolutely not.
No.
You're gonna get a roommate, you're gonna rent some rooms out. Yeah.
And so
Right.
it's just not supplemental and you can't do anything, right? So
Yeah.
so we created an online remote cleaning company. What sells better than anything in the world? And that is
Service.
a service,
Yeah.
exactly. And so it's exactly how it sounds, an online remote cleaning company. So I always ask this question, and Jessica, I know I probably already asked you, but have you ever, and you've actually had your own company, but
Did I had my own company.
exactly, but
Yeah.
have you ever or since then paid for somebody to come and clean your house?
Yeah, I pay cleaners to come in when I list that property and often when it changes hands, but especially to list before we stage. Yeah.
Exactly. So I always ask this question, why not have a company where you pay or get paid for other people to clean other people's businesses, right? And that's extremely attractive.
Mhm.
And so that's what we teach. We teach you how to hire subcontractor cleaners that are 1099. They
Yeah.
have their own insurance. We have our own. For the first like month or so, you're really setting up the operational side. So your software, getting your LLC, all of that jazz set up. And then after that, you get your leads. And we teach you how to find organic leads. We teach you how to find paid leads. And so we spend about like $500 a month on leads. But here's the best part. The average clean, and I'm talking about anywhere in the market right now, is between $150 to $300. And that's for just
That's
residential.
reasonable. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that on repeat and you're doing that like 20 times a week, that's where you're making that money. And the best part is that it's not just residential, it's
Commercial. We have a couple commercials,
yeah,
commercial business
commercial,
buildings going on. Yeah.
medical.
How did you, I know I didn't prep you for this question, but because I ran cleaning for so long and I did a lot of commercial and I had a big workers' comp policy and I had to have a big general liability policy as well
Right.
for the buildings. They had to be named additionally insured. I had federal buildings, like you know, they'd,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I had a lot of banks, a lot of schools, and I had multiple federal buildings. So
Wow.
they're not messing around. You need
Yeah.
a big policy. How are you able to get around that with subcontractors?
So it's essentially where we have our own insurance,
Uh-huh.
have their own insurance, and it's 1099 subcontracting. The way that it allows it to happen is that they are liable for their own and they already have their cleaning business. All they're doing is generating additional revenue and more experience, right? So
So
they have
they have their own worker, so you don't have to have your own workers' comp policy, at least in California. If I am the cleaner, I don't have to have workers' comp on myself, right?
don't
On my
have to have,
employees, I
well,
do.
well, you don't have to have workers' comp on any state, on anybody. When it comes to this business. You
Oh,
don't,
interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. You
It's
just need a general liability policy, because I had
it's
to have like a $3 million policy. BLM was
no.
not playing around. I had to have a $3 million policy, because you know, burn their
Wow.
building down, like, they need to know that you're covered. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
absolutely.
had to have proof of workers' comp, but if that particular person is licensed, then if it's her own business, if it's Ellie's cleaning company, you yourself don't have to have the workers' comp. Your employees do. But if you're the only employee, then you're covered. So maybe that's the get around with making
So
it
yeah,
work.
yeah, so we don't have them as employees. So they're not employed at all by
No,
us.
you're really just doing the marketing for them, it sounds like. You're bringing in leads for Ellie's cleaning service, and she's paying you a service fee for you to bring in more leads because you're better at this than she's going to be. Typically, it's been my experience anyway, and I ran cleaning for 20 something years.
Wow.
The girls that are out cleaning are not the girls that know how to market. I'm grassroots. I can market. I can
Right.
sell anything, right? Like I'm a marketer. That's what I do. That's what you have to do if you're in real estate or you're selling something. But it's a very different mindset and perspective, and your day is spent very differently. One is spent cleaning, one is spent, I mean, I think I told you guys this, like I went building to building till they all gave me their business. I just kept
Right.
coming back through, like their corners still look like shit. No one's getting cobweb. I just did this yesterday. I do a networking event with a couple of guys. Every Wednesday we do coffee club. Last week, and we go for a run first. We do 3 miles real quick. We come back, we do networking. Sweaty.
I love that.
Did you just say
Fun.
3 miles real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
What? Read
Sounds
between
like
the lines, okay? You can't catch me running a fucking mile, okay?
3 miles real quick. We come
I'll
back.
do my
do
3
yoga.
miles in the morning. So get me going. Yeah.
You guys
Absolutely.
should come.
I
So
love it.
this
Yeah.
amazing girl came in to do yoga, and I said, let's move all the chairs. Hey, where's the Swifter? And they said, the cleaner was just here. I said, what are you talking about? No cleaner's been here. Go grab your phone, Joseph. So they're taking pictures. I'm like, what did you pay this girl? They said $130. I said, she is fired, duh, like from
Right.
fired, duh, like with a capital D, fired. This is not even close to clean. I mean, cleaning is like in my blood. I ran this for 27
We talked
years,
about
right?
that. Baseboards, all that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the window,
Yeah.
nothing has been cleaned. And I'm like, they were like, yeah, she said she was here for 2 hours. Okay, you all just witnessed I cleaned this entire room in 12 minutes. So I'm sorry, what? Like literally, they
Wow.
were taking pictures while I cleaned the room so we could do yoga on the, obviously we're on the floor, we're on mats. Like, I was like, find a Swifter, take pictures. So it blows my mind that people are paying for a service and getting shit service, and they keep paying for it rather than calling somebody who's going to do a better job and charge them less. And that's available. You just have to do a little bit of research. So in my opinion, it's very, very, very easy to walk into any building and point out all the flaws, tell them how I could do better and charge them less. You're going to get the business all day long. You have to go back a couple times and do the follow-up, but like that's what we're known for doing. We're in sales, we're in marketing. That's what you do. Follow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about already being in a network of real estate is that it allows you to really expand your cleaning. So we do medical, we do Airbnb turns, which is super cool.
Yeah.
We have
Combined it with the real estate. Yeah.
yeah, we have two
Big
girls.
Dan. Big Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, we have two girls in Hawaii that literally have an Airbnb company. And so now they reached out all to their Airbnb people in Hawaii and they're like, hey, we're going to clean your Airbnbs now because we have cleaners, right? So it's just really cool way to do it. But essentially, one of our business partners at the age of 20 years old created this with one of his friends. And since then, it's just been so lucrative and skyrocketed. He makes up to $30,000 a month. And that's insane to me.
From the cleaning or from the coaching to help other people clean?
No,
From the
just
cleaning.
from the cleaning.
Just the cleaning.
Yes.
And what can you talk about what the buy-in is to get into this? What does one need to jump in and figure this out?
Yeah, so there is a mentorship cost, but I never like to talk about that unless you actually get on call with us. 984-789-7586. And 916-495-0000.
Yeah.
One.
0001.
And
I
it's just
love it.
Yeah,
so
'cause-
much that we like to talk about with you
Yeah,
before we
yeah.
the number, but I will say this. And when it comes to expenses to get started, it's about $300. Okay, so to keep our services running for everything, it's about $300 a month. And then for ads, we started really small, or for paid leads using Thumbtack, Yelp, and Google local services, about $50 a week. And that has now increased. But for $50 a week, we got 2 leads, and those 2 leads ended up being $300 each. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's like totally worth it. And then the cleaners get 40 to 50% of the clean, but net, like I'm not even kidding. We have students, and even including Tanya and I, that made 5,000 on their second month. So when you do come and do this with us, we don't make any money off of you. It's your own company. It's no Ponzi scheme, whatever.
No.
We just teach you the right steps on creating the right to propel you. So essentially, by the time that you start, 3 weeks in on average, each student gets their first clean. So like you're not just like putting a bunch of money into this and then you're like, I hope it works. No,
Yeah.
that we work in. So you're
Yeah.
getting paid, like you getting in here and we clean it, like we're
Yeah.
making sure this is set up by the 3rd week.
Yeah.
I think the amount of times you gave your number out kind of guarantees that, because I'm gonna see you. And like, I mean, that's always what I go back to. Like, I can't look stupid because I'm gonna be here in 3 years when you want to sell your property. I'm not gonna put you in a shit property because you're gonna come back and I'm gonna look stupid. So
Right.
to your point, so we've got to wrap up because we've got, time
Yeah.
tonight, but I want to
Right.
have you guys back on next week just to capitalize on this. On the
Yeah.
cleaning company, not that I'm not obsessed with the apartments, because I am. As soon as my property sells, I am in. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about this and the other streams of income that you're bringing in that would be optimal for other people that
Absolutely.
don't have the money yet to go into apartments or yet to go into your syndication. Like, let's give them some baby starter steps to jump in with you, and ways that we have a lot of opportunities to hang out with you both. You're at everything all the time. So let's get, build a bigger community. So I want to have you guys back next week.
How sexy is that
We
to
love that.
to make passive income with us and then take the money that you make passively with us and invest it like
Mhm.
that? We are living in a
Totally.
society where we are not taught how to invest our money.
Totally.
Live in a society that we cannot retire unless we invest. So that's where we'll
Totally.
take you. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's do it.
No, I love it. I love it. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. Such a pleasure
Thank
having you
you.
guys. I love it.
Love
Okay,
you.
we'll do it again next week. And
Can't wait
one
till
more
next
time,
week.
phone numbers.
916-495-0001. That is my name, or my name is Tanya. Call me anytime. I don't care what time it is.
What's my number? Do you remember my number?
984.
789-7586.
Okay,
These
call
cell phones, yeah.